Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and with me, as always, my good buddy Rob.
I'm Tiny Rob. We can't get this whole perspective thing right when we do the recording. But hi, I'm here.
I think it's a case of my camera, just where I have it sitting. I can't have it any further back.
There we go.
I could do it from back here.
That's not weird at all either. You can see all my all my wrinkles, the bags under my eyes.
Yeah, just brought to life by the camera there.
Yep. The greatest that about $80 on Memory Express can get you 5 years ago.
So how's it going?
Going great. It's we still record these occasionally.
We do. That
it's been a while.
I looked and we recorded on March 2nd was our last one and posted on March 4th. I think this absence is largely due to me. I've had a bunch of family stuff going on that had to kind of supersede the podcast. But we're here now.
Just like the Calgarian Flames in the play. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, they were
so close.
So close.
You know, at least in the game they absolutely had to win. They didn't put their enforcer in on the shootout. Because that'd be stupid.
Yeah.
Woo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to do that.
No. Yeah. No, someone who could actually score the goal. Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't want that. So it doesn't matter what the Oilers do at this point. If we win one game, we've won infinitely more than Calgary did. So
exactly,
that is what sports is all about: doing better than your
rival
right.
team.
The Calgary Flames are an NHL team in the National Hockey League for any of our American friends. Hockey is a game played on ice with skates and occasional glowing pucks.
For our American friends. Yeah, they might have seen that game.
Yeah, although to be fair, they've won the last almost 30 years now, Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
So we're not really one to talk. We've had like 6 in Florida since the last Canadian team. So
yeah, right.
But this is our year.
I sure hope so.
So a moment of silence for our Calgarian friends.
Yeah. You tried real hard, buddies.
Yeah.
Little buddy.
Maybe trading away all your stars. Not the way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't worked for Edmonton either, so. All right. But that's not why people are tuning in.
No. Unfortunately. It's not hockey talk.
It's not hockey talk. It's all about video games and the world around them.
Mm-hmm. Well, just a little bit of housekeeping.
And housekeeping.
And housekeeping, yeah. As I mentioned, it's been a little while, but we're still here. Hopefully you didn't delete us from your from your podcast feed. Also, I'm going to mention our good friends Buzzsprout. They're the ones who host our audio podcast, and they've given us the opportunity to be an affiliate of theirs. And all you got to do if you want to try out this whole podcasting thing is you go wherever you've downloaded our podcast from, and there's a link right at the top there that says support the Grumpy Old Gamers. And if you follow that link and sign up for 1 month, they will send you a $25 Amazon gift card. And yeah, so basically you try your month for free because you get the gift card, and yeah, and you can put a podcast out there. And like I mentioned before, honestly, we have more downloads of our audio podcast than we do of the video.
Literally dozens.
Literally dozens.
Actually, probably dozens. That's okay. That's okay.
But yeah, so Buzzsprout, they treat us good, so return the favor. So let's move on into news, Rob. So I
Yes.
had like 6-ish weeks of news to go through. Luckily, not a lot of crazy stuff happened.
Great.
So I kind of picked and chose 7 or 8 stories here that I thought we should talk about. The first thing is we got a release date for Starfield, and it's not as soon as everybody wanted. No, it's
No.
September 6th is going to be the release date of Starfield.
Unless it's not.
I think when they put this flag in the sand, they got to meet it. But
Yeah.
they did as kind of a consolation say that June 11th they're going to have a Starfield Direct, a direct completely dedicated to Starfield. Wouldn't June 11th put it right around the time of like E3? That's usually when that E3 is, right?
Yeah, that would be all right. That's a
Yeah,
story for later.
that's a story for later.
Yeah. So vote now on which jacket Todd Howard is going to wear.
Mm-hmm. You mean the same one he's worn for?
He's got a look. He likes
He
it.
does. He does.
Yeah.
So yeah, Starfield is still a little ways out, but I mean, with them actually nailing down a date like this, I feel like video game companies have been really um, gun shy about throwing dates out there now,
Yeah, that's true.
and not meeting them. Like, there's a lot of like spring 2023, fall 20, those
Yep.
kind of dates. Nothing
When
nailed
it's
down.
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Starfield, September 6th,
Unless it's not.
unless it's not.
Place your bets in the comments below.
Next story here, which is one that made me laugh. Sony, has basically come out and said that they're going to try and do everything they can to stop the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard deal. They've just said, yeah, we don't want it to happen. So uh, so now they put out there that they're concerned that Microsoft will release a worse version of Call of Duty on PlayStation.
Yeah.
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 Which is just something I wanted to bring up because Hogwarts Legacy and Callisto Protocol were both they're not PlayStation exclusives, but PlayStation put down something like 40% of the budget for Callisto Protocol.
Okay.
And they had some exclusive stuff with Hogwarts Legacy. Like if you bought the Super Deluxe edition, you got, a better broom and some other trinkets like that that only are available if you buy the deluxe edition on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So
Like,
already they're the things are leaning in their favor. Sorry, and then what were you going to add there?
I was going to say, and then even Marvel's Avengers, which was a game that never really went anywhere. But if you bought the PlayStation version, you could play Spider-Man.
Yeah, right.
Which was a pretty big deal.
Pretty big deal to a lot of people.
Yeah. Granted, I don't know if he even ever released the end of that game, but
They did.
Same sort of idea.
Oh.
So
They did. I thought you were going to say, did they ever release a Spider-Man? They did.
Okay.
And apparently, it was a mockery because people are like, "This plays nothing like the Spider-Man game." So, it's basically a brawler. Anyways, if you head over to Digital Foundry and watch the Hogwarts Legacy and Callisto Protocol breakdowns, you can see that those two games run better on the PlayStation.
Okay.
Now, is that a coincidence? Right?
Yeah, I mean,
So, you know, they've already struck these deals for exclusivities and whatnot. And, you know, they have an interest in Callisto Protocol. Callisto Protocol, it's all in the like the fidelity in the high fidelity stuff
sure.
that the PlayStation, and it's not because the PlayStation's a better console either. It's stuff that the Xbox could easily handle.
Sure.
There's just like they're showing one I can remember for Callisto Protocol is they were showing all these reflections that were missing
Hmm.
in the Xbox version that are there in the PlayStation version. So Sony is concerned that Microsoft's going to do to them what they've been doing to Microsoft for years now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, Sony has been all about the exclusives for, that's all they've got. So
Yeah.
the fact that Microsoft might be doing the same thing, which I mean, honestly, it's Call of Duty. It's a little different. Like, I don't think Activision's going to be like, even if Microsoft said make a slightly worse version, I can't see Activision going, yeah, okay. We
Right?
hate money from our
Yeah.
number one franchise we do.
Yeah. And even now, I saw a little pie chart that came out, and I think it said that PlayStation still has 45% of the market share. And
Right.
then the rest is split between Xbox and Switch. So, you know, there's still the big console out there.
Oh yeah.
And like you say, like, who doesn't like money?
Everyone
Yeah.
likes the money.
I've also seen like Microsoft come back with that argument too, because
Mhm.
they didn't want Sony won't sign the 10-year agreement that Activision's and Microsoft have been shopping around to people, like saying, hey, here's 10 years of Call of Duty. They even gave it to the Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
But PlayStation's like, no, we don't want that. So, and actually, while we're talking about this, I found another story here.
Mhm.
A U.S. senator um, actually called out um, Maria Cantwell. She
Can't
raised
well indeed. Sorry.
she
Carry on.
she um they're in the Senate Finance Committee hearing, and she talked to Japan's representative.
Mhm.
And she said, I'm told that controls a monopoly of 98% of the high-end gaming market in Japan. Yet Japan's government has allowed Sony to engage in blatant anti-competitive conduct through exclusive deal and payments to game publishers, establishing games that are among the most popular in Japan. So, yeah, some shots were fired on behalf of like.
Mhm.
So, Sony's just bringing this upon themselves, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's really hard for this is like when Apple and Epic were suing each other. All of us
Yeah.
little guys are like just a couple of super rich mega corporations fighting amongst themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
good for you guys. Call of Duty's coming to everything. It doesn't really matter what they say, right? It's to be able to play your Call of Duty, and as far as it being potentially a buggy mess, usually these AAA games are a buggy mess when they first launch anyway.
It's true.
Yeah, how
It's
will you
true.
know if it's optimized better or less? They still got to get it out for the sale date so they can sell 18 trillion of them.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to bring up the whole Sony not wanting Microsoft to do to them what they've been doing to
Oh
Microsoft for
yeah,
years.
it's comical.
So also in our absence there, 10 minutes of gameplay from Tears of the Kingdom was tears. There's no context, Rob. It could be
No,
tears.
it could be. It's like tears, like flowing from a Calgarian's face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you happen to get to watch any of that gameplay?
Sure didn't.
Sure didn't. Oh,
Nope.
right.
Um, Out of the two of us, you are the much more excited about this game than me. So
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
be excited for you.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
that is fair enough. So what they showed is that they're heavily leaning into the creativity aspect of this Zelda game. Now, I know you played a bit of
Hmm.
a Breath of the Wild,
Yep.
and one of the biggest things in the beginning is the whole issue, like you don't have a weapon. You've got
Yeah.
sticks, and you've got you make your spears from sticks, and sometimes they're a club or whatever. But now they have this whole combining system where you can take a stick and a rock, and suddenly you've got a mace or a mallet, and
Okay.
like, but it looks like it goes even further than that because there's like a part where you take your shield and mix it with a mushroom. And then one of the monsters hits your shield, the mushroom puffs and blows everybody back. And then there's another one where you take like a monster eye
Hmm.
and mix it with an arrow, and suddenly you create heat-seeking arrows.
Ah.
Like
Okay.
they're really leaning into this whole like creativity thing, and it has me excited. um, the game's going to come out at $90. I have no problem. Yeah, I know I was
Yeah.
bitching about it before, but if this is what they've been doing, finding every combination that they can put together in the game, just think about all the stuff you picked up in that game.
Yeah. It was a lot of stuff because every
So
time you swung anything, it broke.
yeah,
And that made me sad.
so
Oh.
they also just announced today that they're showing the final gameplay trailer this week. I think. I should look that up, but I didn't. It was just announced today that there's another gameplay trailer, and the final gameplay trailer they're calling it.
Ooh.
So, ooh, yeah. So, Tears of the Kingdom, Tears of the Kingdom, thereby.
Terrorizing the neighborhood.
Uh, Next bit of news here. I kind of saw this happening.
Speaking of tears.
Speaking of tears, E3 has been canceled this year. And it really should come as no shocker because there wasn't going to be anybody showing anything at it.
It was just
Th-
gonna be Ryan and me. We were gonna
yeah.
be you're gonna be there and be like, hey, sup?
Hey, what's up? You like
Or like
video games? I like video games. You
you
like
wanna
video games?
speak with like the we're in the top 500 podcasters in Edmonton for video games with the
For
term
video
grumpy in
games.
it.
so, um, so Xbox was never going to be part of it because they do their own thing during E3, which
Yeah.
they kind of just ride the coattails of E3 and do their own thing at the same time, but in a different venue.
Yep.
Nintendo backed out. Even if they weren't going to do a live stage show, they still usually did the treehouse and had
Hmm.
hands-on stuff there, right?
Yeah, you bet.
PlayStation was not coming back. And then just last week, or the week before they announced that they were not having it, um, Ubisoft announced that they weren't going to attend E3.
It's just gonna be in television.
Yeah, Mr. Tommy Tallarico.
Mr. Tommy Tallarico to world record numbers.
Yeah. So,
I invented the internet. Oh,
so they're saying they're gonna take another run at it. Just they've canceled it for this year. Yeah,
so do you feel this is the end of E3? Do you think they're coming back ever?
I don't think they're coming back ever.
Yeah.
With the Summer of Games or no Summer Game Fest that that goes on now, that kind of fills that hole. But I mean, it's sad because I used to love like I get so hyped for E3, like everyone's
Yep.
big presentation, right? But now instead of having one big one a year, all these companies do multiple little ones.
Yep.
So
Yep. Whenever they want, right? The
yeah,
digital world has changed things.
yeah. So I mean, I always kind of dreamed of of going one day, especially after what was that like? well, I guess it'd be like 5 or 6 years ago now, where they actually opened it to the public,
Yeah.
right? Where anyone could get a ticket. You didn't have to be part of the industry.
The great unwashed masses all showed up, and
Yeah. So yeah, E3 canceled. But in some good news, Rob,
oh,
the Super Mario Brothers movie is a certified hit.
yep.
Um, I have not had a chance to see it yet. I know you haven't.
No, but it is one where the kids do really want to go, and I'm super excited about it too.
Mm-hmm.
And it yet again showing how Rotten Tomatoes, like
Yeah.
the critics and the viewers have never been so far apart on so many movies, because it's like a 98% critical rate or viewer rating, and like it was like
Yeah.
a 50 or something for critics.
Yeah.
It's like
So the
maybe
the
they
critics
don't
did
know
not
what
like
people
it.
like. Yeah,
Yeah, but Mario fans, they sure did. So uh it broke the record for in its global opening. It pulled in 377 million over its opening weekend, beating out
good.
the previous record of 358 million held by Frozen 2.
Wow.
Yeah,
It is me, Mario.
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 I've been really trying to avoid like all the spoilers I can, and
There's a giant lizard in it named Bowser.
yeah. Speaking of that, also been avoiding, even though there's clips of it everywhere. They've Jack Black sings a song from the movie called
Yep.
Peaches.
Yep.
So I've even avoided that.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Haven't
That's
checked that out
dedication.
either. Yeah, I
It's
wanna.
pretty funny. It is pretty good. The
So
video. Yeah.
yeah, but just good news because there was that little bit of me like I really wanted this to succeed,
Yeah.
and there was that little bit of me that. But you know what? Like I love most of the Illumination movies. Like there's always something in them for adults, and
Sure.
so yeah. What else we got here? Oh, so Nintendo announced an event called Nintendo Live. Um, where is it? Right here, happening in September,
Hmm.
and it's an all ages celebration of Nintendo fun. Um, do you hear? Do you
Oh
hear
yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
animals in my house going crazy? Yeah. Um, so it's gonna have games that people can try. It's gonna have a live stage. There's gonna be photo ops with your favorite Nintendo characters, and there's gonna
Ooh.
be tournaments.
Wow.
So it's happening in Seattle in September. So it's like
What
it's
I'm hearing is a road trip.
ooh, all right. Yeah,
Start the fundraising now.
Seattle's not a bad drive. We could do
No,
that.
actually, it's not. That's
Yeah, that's totally achievable.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to think about. Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully by then I can cross the border. We won't get into that.
We won't talk about that right now,
No,
Rob.
we're not going to talk about that.
So there's that, and I'll let you take the reins on this last one here.
Boy, yeah, we talked about whether this is even worth reporting on,
Yeah.
but you know what? It's a light news week 6 weeks. So there was a rumor, and it was put out by Tom Henderson at Insider Gaming, claiming that Sony is developing a new PlayStation gaming handheld. But before we get too excited about that, what they're reporting is rather than developing a portable console that lets you play games natively, the Q Lite handheld will work primarily with the remote play feature on the PlayStation 5 and stream games from the console over the internet. So basically, it'll do one thing the Vita used to do and nothing else. So if you don't have a PlayStation 5 and you just subscribe to PlayStation Now, this is not the thing for you.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of this, Ryan?
Seems like a half measure.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, so you want to play on a portable in your house? Huh? 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 Like, I wonder how popular doing this with the Vita was on your PS4.
I mean, I used to do it, but it's with the Vita, it was always you only had an R1 and an L1. You didn't have the other two triggers.
Oh, right.
So it really got
Right.
but honestly, the Vita did so many other things. Like you had cartridges and you could download games, and the PSP had the amazing UMD drive, which
Right.
you if you've ever used, you're hearing it right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting step. I mean, if it was cheaper, because I
Yeah.
mean, this could be a way um, for like kids to be able to play, or even adults for that matter.
Mhm.
But so you're not tying up the TV in the family house, right?
Yep.
So,
No, I mean it's like depending what the price is, right?
yeah.
If this is 100 or 150 bucks, maybe there's a market. But
Mm-hmm.
if it's 300 bucks, why would you buy this and not buy like a Steam Deck or a what's that, the Logitech G Cloud, or like there's a variety of other things that already
Yeah.
do streaming gaming.
Oh, that that reminds me of the story. Um, was it Asus? Asus, they for an April Fool's joke, they put out that they were making a new portable console, and then a couple days later they posted, "Ha, it wasn't a joke. We actually are." And it's this port like it looks like like a
Oh yes,
like
yeah,
a pretty big competitor for the Steam Deck.
yeah.
Like it, so yeah, I
Everyone's
mean
gonna get in.
the choices are there. It's just it'd be a weird restriction, right?
Hmm.
Like to put on this Sony handheld.
Yeah, it's kind of like being at the cutting edge of 5-year-old technology, maybe 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm. So we'll keep an eye on this,
Yeah,
see what happens.
I mean for 350, $400, you can buy an iPad and
Yeah.
then do all sorts of things with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just depends what the price is going to be.
Oh, so just the way my brain works. One of the stories I came across in our feed there actually was that 8-Bit Do, my favorite controller makers,
Right.
they're certified to work on Apple devices now. They actually like are Apple certified now.
Oh, there
So
you go.
you just mentioning the having an iPad there, man, that would pair up nice with like a Pro 2 controller and
Right.
dang,
Yeah. Yeah.
dang.
Go Apple. We're not by any means shilling Apple products.
No, no.
Android does the same thing.
Yeah.
Just Apple is innovative. Is that what they say now? Innovative? We're
Well,
innovative.
I just like the idea that they actually like are playing with a third party, right? You
Yeah.
know?
Usually they don't
No.
for anything.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got for news, Rob. Um, can move on into what we've been playing. And for having all that time off, you'd think my list would be 3 times this size.
Yeah, this is normally a week for you here.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of time to play games in the past few weeks. So, do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Sure.
You
Okay.
you've built up the anticipation now of what you've actually played.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Well, first thing I played was something that was on sale for like $1.67 on Steam. Uh, I picked up Portal Bridge Builder
Oh
on
yeah.
on PC, and
Hmm.
I love bridge builder games. They're like that's one of those niches that like I'm always gonna try a bridge builder game. You know, you look at my Switch, and I've bought like 5 different ones that have come out on the Switch. Not all
Yep.
of them are good, Rob.
No. No. No.
But
No.
um, And this one, it's Portal themed, so it's
Mhm.
got the Portal license, and yeah, it's pretty fun. Like I put a bunch of time into that. I think I put like 3 hours one afternoon, just zoned out and
Mhm.
built bridges um
And then
it,
burn them.
and then burned them. And then in this one, you have guys on forklifts. You got the workers on forklifts, or the guys
Mhm.
testing the bridge strength. So it's and I forget the name. What's the name of that robot? The robot in Portal that like
Oh, GLaDOS.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah
that's the one,
they're
right? The female,
yeah
like the
they're the
main antagonist.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah they instruct you through everything, and so really well spent $1.67.
yeah. It's a great game, and it's
Yeah.
always on sale. So,
On that note, and I know I talked about this years ago, or a couple years ago already. This I played it early on in the time we were doing this, but Bridge Builder did got a license with a Walking Dead,
hmm.
and that game was actually really good because it was all story. Like you were actually building bridges to like redirect the undead or
Hmm.
to escape them and stuff. So it was actually really good too. So yeah, Bridge Builder. Next up, I put a bunch of time into V Rising, which is it's one of my is I think my number 3 or 4 game from
Oh,
last year. I kind of dove back into it because I haven't actually played it on my own.
hmm.
I've been playing with my friend Sean's group of friends that we get together there on Tuesday nights and play stuff. But I did something with this Rob that I haven't done in a long time.
I'm
Nothing,
eagerly waiting.
nothing.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I gave you a soft lob there.
Yeah. No, it's not that the jokes weren't there. It was
Okay, okay.
just very
Um,
nice.
I put up a server.
Ah,
I Instead of just playing on my PC, I actually uh downloaded everything and configured up a server and went through the painstaking process of getting all my ports opened correctly and forwarded and and so invited the guys that I play with on Tuesdays to come play again too, and yeah, so it's a fun game. I really enjoy that game. And it's been fun going in and tweaking the server. Like I have the drop rate at 4 times what it usually is, so we're getting just tons of stuff and
hmm.
resources and gold and everything. And yeah, so uh, V Rising,
You're rising.
still fun. Great game, bad name. What else did I try here? I'll save this next one and we can talk about this together. That'll be our crossover game. But
Ah, yes.
I tried out. So was it last week or the week before? I don't know, man. The days just all melt together. Uh, Xbox on Game Pass released a preview of Valheim on the console,
Hmm.
and I gave it a try. And I gotta say, if it's gonna be, I think it's gonna do pretty well.
Okay.
Um, Little clunky using the controller to build.
Hmm.
Little clunky.
Sure.
Like, because it's a lot of like holding like 2 buttons and pushing another, and like it's a little clunky.
Right.
But
Right.
you know what? Like, if I got used to the clunky menus in No Man's Sky when I was playing it, 3 or 4 years ago,
Hmm.
if you if you it feels extra clunky to me because I played this on
Hmm.
PC and had a mouse, right? Um, but yeah, building is a huge part of this game,
Sure.
and it's at least like 50% of your time, like you're building stuff or whatnot. So,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, I mean, if that doesn't bother you too much, like if you haven't had the experience of it on PC and this is your first experience with it, I
Yeah.
think it's going to do well. I think it's going to do really well.
Okay.
Um, And I mean, they still have the whole party system in there too, so you can create a game on your Series X
Mm-hmm.
and bring people over to play it there, like over the internet and everything. So it's yeah, it's yeah, something to watch out for. I think
Right
there'll be
on.
a Valheim resurgence.
Excellent. Excellent.
And lastly, I just wanted to mention I on Forza Horizon 5, I finally got my last sign. I
Yay.
sent you the video of it there. And man, I think it was the same one that you saved till last.
Yep.
It was that one up in the power
Mm-hmm.
line tower.
Yep.
And it was easily 45 minutes I spent launching myself at that stupid sign, and I was either hitting above or below or
Mm-hmm.
missing off to the sides or
Yep.
oh my God. But I really should have been playing the new Rally DLC which came out. But no. I wanted to get in there
Want to get
and
that last sign.
I wanted to get all my signs. So um yeah, so I was working on that a bit too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good mindless like kind of frustrating but kind of not. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's
Sure. Sure.
you know what I mean? Like not like I was ready to throw the controller, but I think I was just more determined to get get that last time more than anything. And last, during our time off,
Mm-hmm.
the Diablo 4 beta happened,
Ah, yes.
and we both had a chance to hop in and play it.
We partook.
We partook. Um, I probably partook in about 3-ish hours, somewhere in there. Um, and from the beta, it it's Diablo.
End the show on that.
Yep.
It's Diablo.
It's Diablo. It ran great. I didn't have so I played it on console and PC,
Mm-hmm.
and it it ran better on console
Ah, okay.
for me than it did on my
Mm-hmm.
PC. It crashed twice for me on my PC.
Oh no.
Yeah, but the good thing was because I was playing on PC and Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe this had more to do with it, you having to log into your Battle.net account. I was
Mm-hmm.
able to pick up my games between the two, no problem. I didn't have to. It it carried my save files over. So, um, yeah. So it's Diablo. Worked better on my console.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got to say about Diablo 4?
Well, yeah, like you said, it's Diablo. I just played primarily PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ran. I didn't have any crashing issues, but it ran pretty well. Like you can tell, it's a beta. There's
Mm,
occasional stutters.
yeah.
I put about 7 hours in, so the first major town I got to, and I was like, I it's a beta. I just so everything I do is not getting saved. So
Mm-hmm.
um, like meaning that you can't pick it up in the when the game actually comes out. So which is a bit of a shame, but I can see why they do it because the game could be quite a bit different by the time it actually comes out. So, but it was
Yeah.
fun. Like it played really well. And yeah, I was glad to do it. It seemed pretty polished,
Mm, yeah.
except for some performance issues and things like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've had plenty of time to work on it.
I mean, they've still got more time, right? Like it's coming
Yep.
in
Oh yeah.
July,
Oh yeah.
right? July? Yeah, I think
I
it's
think so. Yeah.
June or
I
July, something like
I
that.
didn't pre-order it, so I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait and see how
Mm-hmm.
it is. It's I'm not gonna be shooting for leaderboards or anything like that, so I'll
Yeah.
give it a month, see if they have any performance issues that they want to work out. But
I'm not pre-ordering it because it might just come out right out on Game Pass.
it very well might, right?
Yeah. It very well could.
Yeah.
It would, if the deal goes through and they didn't put it on Game Pass,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't that be kind of shooting themselves in the foot? Like the whole idea of Game Pass, you know what
Yep.
I mean?
Yep.
So
It's true. It's true. That would be one that would the Sony fans would be very upset with.
mhm. So yeah, what if that's all you got on Diablo, what else you been playing there, Rob?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Octopath Traveller 2.
Nice.
Um, I mean, I'm like 30 hours in, so I've got another 180 or so left. Um, it's just a
So
lot of
so
fun.
you basically just finished the prologue.
Yeah, this is
Like
just the,
like
the the beginning of the game. Yeah,
yeah, okay. And then this is where they teach you how to like do everything, right? Like
yeah, yeah. We're just getting to the point where how you attack a person, and they give you your first sword. No, it's
how how you pick up things.
I'm I'm really liking it. I mean, it's there are some definitely some improvements over the first one. There are a lot of different types of side quests and joint quests and things like that. And honestly, I find a few of the characters a lot less annoying.
Mm,
There are one or two that it's like, oh, you're kind of annoying, but not really annoying. Whereas there were a couple in the first one where it's like, I hate using you. But yeah, playing it on Switch because that's what I had the prologue on, and
mm,
honestly, it's just easier to. I'd rather play it on a bigger screen because my eyesight, getting older. But you occasionally miss that road path to the chest. But by the same token, you can sit in bed and
yes.
yeah. So, and I mean, it's the Switch. It looks just fine on the Switch. It's not a graphically taxing game. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's Octopath Traveler. I'll be playing that for months
The
still.
rest of the year.
Yeah. And last I tried out, Amazon Luna launched a couple of weeks ago in Canada finally.
Yeah, right, right.
So was trying that out, giving it some of the paces there, and very complicated tiers. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, there's 4 games usually or so that you can play for free just having Amazon Prime through Luna. If you sign up for Luna Plus, there's a bunch of other games that you can play. If you sign up for Ubisoft through Amazon, there's a whole bunch of other games you can play. So there's like many different tiers. It's very confusing. And as far as the performance, it was mixed.
Mm,
On my computer, hardwired, it plays pretty good. Anything on my Wi Fi with a not hardwired controller, it's almost unplayable. And
okay.
they had some weird, like when it first launched, it told me that I could play them, but not through the app because I wasn't in a zone that it belongs to. Um, all sorts of weird messages. They got that all sorted out, but
Right, right.
it's honestly the fact that you can play some games for free every month. Okay, that's got something to it, but I just the streaming game is just it's not as good as playing it locally, and it's not going to be, for a while.
Yeah.
It's just yeah, but it's okay. It's it works. It's yeah, that's about all I could say. It works.
So what do you remember any of the 4 games that were like free with Prime?
You know what? Let me just do this.
Okay.
I've got it right on the computer here.
We have the power of the internet at our fingertips,
Yes,
and
yes.
Rob is going to utilize it.
I'm going to utilize the internet because I have the Luna desktop app right on my computer here. So let's see what they've got right now. Please stand by.
Loading,
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 loading.
loading.
Be awesome if it just failed right now.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, here's the. Oh. Oh.
Did it just fail?
No, nope, still going. Still
Okay.
going. Okay, so Prime players can play right now Jackbox Party Pack 3,
Mm-hmm.
Yakuza 2,
Oh, okay.
Horizon Chase Turbo,
Okay.
and The Adventure Pals, which shows a little boy riding a giraffe.
Okay.
Yep,
Hmm.
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, they've got lots of games if you sign up for the Luna Plus, like Tetris Effect and Sonic Mania and Wonderful 101 and
Oh.
Guacamelee and a whole bunch of classical ones like Earthworm Jim 2. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of decent games. They seem to have a sponsorship with Jackbox, or because they got a whole bunch of the Jackbox games here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
and I mean, games like that work perfect
Yeah.
because you're streaming it anyway, right? So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right now I'm back.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right. Well, according to your list, that's the last thing that you
that
have.
is the last
So
thing I had.
you do you want to talk about this making us grumpy this week?
Oh, I think we probably should. Yeah,
Um,
it's a consensus, so
okay. Okay.
that's
I'll do you do you want to take this?
sure, absolutely. So, Monster Energy drink, not something that either Ryan and I partake in. Um, they sued an indie developer. I don't remember the name of the game, but over the use of the having monster in their name.
The game is called Dark Deception Monsters and Mortals.
There you go.
Monsters and
Yeah,
Mortals.
yep. So Monster is trying to stop anyone from using the word monster in their games.
Mm-hmm.
This just reminds me of Paris Hilton wanting to. What did she try and trademark? That's hot or something like that. Or
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. But Monster's done this before. There was that Phoenix Rising game that I've loved
Yeah.
was going to be called Gods and Monsters at one point, and then Monster went to Ubisoft and said, "You can't call it that. We're Monster." And Ubisoft said, "Yeah, okay." And that's why the game name changed.
Mm-hmm.
So this is ridiculous. Like, this is not a word that they came up with. This is not a word that hasn't been around for thousands of years. Um, but this is just the stage we're at now, where people can trademark common words.
Yeah. So some of the things that they go after and things that they've trademarked are the terms "unleash the beast," "reign," as in like REIGN, "super fuel," and even the letter M. Yeah. So from what I read here, it seems like they go after these smaller companies,
Mm-hmm.
and because Monster Energy is owned by Coca-Cola Company,
Mm-hmm.
so they just have all the money in the world.
Oh, sure.
Um, and they like, yeah, they just go after these little companies and just bury them in litigation until they cave.
That's
Uh,
ridiculous.
so they came to the monster lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they'd offered a compromise to the indie developer if they would in the agreement they would allow the company to still use Monsters and Mortals, Dark Deception Monsters and Mortals,
Mm-hmm.
if they agreed to never registering a trademark again with the word monster or any variation of the word monster
Uh-huh.
or any of Monster Energy's other trademarks,
Mm-hmm.
or if they um and this isn't that includes the M, like a
Yep.
monster M.
Yep.
So in theory they could never release a game again with the letter M in it. Just,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
Monster wanted to get picky about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? Good for these guys. because they're not just rolling over. They're um they're they're standing their ground because it is ridiculous. Like they I wouldn't even have thought anything of the energy drink. Like if I hear the name, Dark Deception, Monsters, Immortals, furthest thing from my mind
Yeah.
is the energy
It's
drink.
like, oh, this must be made by the folks at Monster.
Also, I found a related article to this. The Death Stranding director's cut, because in the original Death Stranding, you get Monster energy drinks, and that's what refills your energy.
Yep.
And I don't know if that was a paid product placement or not, but they in the director's cut they've removed it. So
yeah, this is where society is, right? It's ludicrous. It's stupid.
So no one can find anything whether they were asked to, if they were sued or not about that. Like if they had permission to use the Monster Energy drink in Death Stranding. But yeah. So yeah, no. It seems like it was a product placement that they got cleared for the first game, but not for the director's cut.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that makes me grumpy, Rob. Like, that's one of the dumbest things I've heard in a long time. Like, gamers are, the kind of people who drink energy drinks.
Yes. Yep, they sure are. Yeah. It's kind of the crowd they're aimed at.
And they're going after indie game developers because they use the word. Well, not even indie. Like they went after Ubisoft because of it.
Yep.
And like what Ubisoft just must have been like, for the love of God, all right, fine. Well,
they just rolled over.
Yeah, like we don't want the trouble.
And
again, gods and monsters.
Yeah.
I did not think that was a game about Greek gods drinking Monster energy drinks.
Although it should have been.
It should have been.
Yeah. So we're now going to start each show by saying we're sponsored by the letter M. See how long it takes before they come after us. Today's episode brought to you by the letter M. For Monster.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, they're not watching us.
No.
Although, I mean, they went after, maybe there's some sort of algorithm they use because I'm sure this indie developer, they're not selling trillions of games either, right? So
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. There was a time where before all this trademarking madness and exclusivity, where you could take a ColecoVision and you could buy a module that would let you play Atari games on your ColecoVision. And nobody sued anybody.
Yeah.
Good times.
They didn't like it, but they never sued them.
That's true. They were like, "Hey,
you guys make
that? You guys make the Cabbage Patch doll. What are you doing?"
Wait, you can do this?
Wow. And they would have if the Atari could have handled ColecoVision graphics, but it couldn't. Yeah. ColecoVision, right there.
Well, Rob, if that's all you got, do you want to take this crazy train home?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how we do this. Hey, thanks for watching or listening, or just putting us on the background while you're doing your chores.
Good way to do it.
Yeah. we appreciate you. We enjoy doing this. We do this usually every 2 weeks or 6. But stay tuned.
An even number.
At some point. So yeah, if you like what you're listening to, you got a huge backlog. You can anywhere that you get audio podcasts. We're on the Spotify, the Apples. Just look up "You Can't Teach an Old Gamer New Tricks," and we have a Facebook page that we post all sorts of memes and gaming news and other shenanigans. So you can look for the Grumpy Old Gamers on Facebook. We have a website as well that we don't really do anything with, but at least once a year we do a top 5 list, and that's always a good time. Look for the Grumpy Old Gamers there. And if you want to reach out to us, you got questions, concerns, you're a Calgarian fan and you feel like we were unfair to you, you can get hold of us at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com.
Oh, is that the email we're using? I thought it was suckatcalgary@gmail.com.
I think that one was already taken.
Oh, okay.
So thanks again for hanging out with us today. Or during the morning or whenever you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Have a great week or 2 or 6, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
See ya.